How's it going, Nottingham Forest TV? My name is Jack, and welcome to my reaction to Nottingham Forest beating Hull City 2-1 at the City Ground just there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the game, or obviously with iFollow now and living in the UK, you can't watch the 3 PM kickoffs. However, I was able to listen to it, so I can give you a bit of a my reaction from what I heard in commentary and that sort of thing, and what I got from the game. If you look at it purely on the stats, possession, well, actually, most, if not all, sort of the main stats here on the BBC Sports app are very, very equal. I mean, we had a bit more of the ball. They had a couple of more shots than us. Shots on target, we took that. Corners were equal. They fouled us a little bit more than we did. But it wasn't anything that sort of showed that one side were by far and away the better side, the team that definitely deserved to win it. But from what I was hearing on commentary, it did sound like Forest in the first half, and from some of the things I've seen on Twitter, some people are saying it's the best first half of football we've played all season. And you've got to look at that alongside sort of Birmingham, where I think we were 2-0 up in the first half, maybe even 3-0. I think it was just 2 in the first half at St Andrews there. But really promising from what I heard. And then unfortunately, 2 minutes before the end of the half, Lewis Potter capitalised on a mistake from Spence to finish in that one. But it's brilliant to see that we bounce back. Chris Hughton's side, I guess you could say, going into the break, heads would have been down. They would have been feeling, sorry for themselves, licking their wounds a little bit, and just really down in the dumps. But then, the way that Chris Hughton, Steve Cooper's got these boys going, they're up for it. They're ready to bounce back. They don't want to sit there and think, oh, here we go again. They're there like, right, how can we do this? Right, we're going to get back into this game. Bang, bang, bang. And that's what they did. Shame in the first half that Geordie Asai 2-2 had to come off again. Hopefully it's nothing too difficult, too dangerous. That's going to keep him out for a while, because he has just come back and he's looked pretty decent, to be fair to him. Played a big part in our third goal against against Swansea. So I think it's such a shame, because he had such a long time out injured, and for him to come back in the second game, not even 1.5 games. It was just one game and about, I think it was about 20-30 minutes, and then he had to make way for Mighton. I really hope he's okay, and I hope it's nothing too, just completely lost the word now. Serious. There we go. Nothing too serious. And same with Mighton as well. He had to come off. So hopefully both of those injuries are minor ones rather than major ones, and they'll be back sort of in the first team soon. It's not ideal, because I think the five at the back we were playing with, Yatesy sat in between Worrell and McKenna, looks really good, or worked really well from what I was hearing. And I think the fact that we had to switch up a little bit, put Cole back at left back, wasn't what we wanted to do. And I think I don't know if it really had any bearing on them scoring or anything like that, but from what the commentary was saying, the way we were playing with that 5-2-3, we were absolutely killing them. There was nothing that they could do with, Spence having a little bit less defensive responsibility, and being able to just get forward and do what he needs to do in that aspect of his game. Having him back in a right back position, he's completely competent to do that, and I don't really have any worries in his ability. It just sort of nullifies that attacking threat a little bit, but I'm sure that he can still get forward and contribute from right back. It's just, he had a little bit more defensive ability to sort of think about there, and with Colback not being in the midfield, it's nothing really, doesn't really disrupt the midfield too much, but I would prefer him to be there than be out at left back. Took our chance 10 minutes into the second half, when my item was brought down, and I've seen the clip on Twitter. It's a bit soft. It looked like he was already on his way down. He was sort of tripping a little bit anyway. And then Honeyman, out of nowhere, just comes in and clips him, and we get a penalty. Obviously not been able to see the game, so I don't really know what happened before that. But a lot of people were saying that maybe they think that the penalty was given because of a decision before, which led to a corner that really should have been a penalty. I can't really comment too much on that, as I've not seen it myself. I'm sounding a bit of a manager now. In a post-match interview on Match Today, did you think that your team were lucky with that penalty? And they're like, I haven't seen it yet, But no, genuinely, I haven't seen it because I'm only able to listen to it. You can't say to a referee, we don't want this penalty. It shouldn't have been a penalty. You just take the chance it's given to you. Well, I guess you could say it, but why would you? And then, we took the penalty and Graben scored. And then Johnson, how long later was it? Let me just quickly have a look. About 20 minutes later. Just under 20 minutes later. Brilliant work from Graben down the right-hand side. And then a lovely finish from Johnson. Saw the clip of that on Twitter. So, it was just so confidently taken by Johnson. That's 2 in 2 for him now. The goal against Swansea, nothing really, it wasn't, you didn't really need too much technique or anything like that on it, because it was literally a tap in from a spill almost on the goal line by the goalkeeper. But this one, the ability to control it, the confidence to finish it off like that, it was just superb. It was really great to see, and it just shows that he's so confident in this level, so comfortable playing in the Championship. That step up from League One, some fans might have thought, you look at Tyler Walker, he was really good for Lincoln, came up into the Championship, and he struggled a bit. He really struggled to hit form, really have any meaningful contribution. Maybe he scored that goal against Leeds, but he was a bit weird one. Tyler Walker would come in, score one goal. Like, I think he scored a goal against Brentford at their old ground, against them in a 4-3, and then that's all he did. And then he came in against Leeds and scored that goal to clinch that one, and then that's about it. And some people might have seen sort of the way he played in League One, and then the way that it translated to the Championship, and they might have thought, maybe Brennan might be a bit the same. Johnson could sort of follow in those footsteps, but he's been absolutely superb. He looks like he's been playing at this level all his career. So assured, so just confident in his ability, able to run at defenders. Like in this, control it superbly and finish it off just with absolute, just ice in the veins, really. It was brilliant to see. Overall, you got to look at the circumstances. Our left back was taken off injured, so we had to switch that up, completely change the style of play, and having to deal with that and deal with another player coming off again. That's it kind of disrupts the flow a little bit, but we managed to keep things going. Another win now, Forest. Now 16 games, 1 loss. Like, that's just superb. We're doing so much, so well. And whenever I'm talking to people, maybe who don't particularly support Forest, or even family members who aren't that interested in football, but because of how much I love football, I just talk to anyone who would listen, and like I'll speak to my mum about it today, or my grandma, not too big football fans, and I was explaining the situation at the club and how it has changed from Cooper coming in to what it was with Houghton beforehand. They can't believe it, even they see how big of an improvement it is. So it's just absolutely fantastic, and I'm so just so happy with the way that it is changed, because before, when we had Houghton, it was so boring, so drab. You would kind of go into a game just sort of thinking, I just really can't be bothered if I was to play today, just going to be disappointment again. But with Cooper, you can't wait for that next game. You're checking the calendar. You're bouncing for that next game. You can't wait to see how it's going to go and how it's going to pan out. And you go into games thinking, you know what? Whoever we're playing here, I think we're going to get something out of it. And we did that again today. Next up for us is a away trip on Boxing Day to Middlesbrough, if it goes ahead with COVID. I'm feeling confident about that one, but I'll talk about that one a bit more in my preview coming up next week. Quick one for as it stands. You look at that. I mean, obviously, the team directly below us and directly above us in Stoke and Coventry, they didn't play today. Millwall are in and around us. They haven't played today. Their result, to be honest, wouldn't affect anything. Pardon me, but it's just Coventry below us and Stoke above us who haven't played. That could affect our position in a way. So by that I mean Coventry didn't play and they are level on points of us. So with their game in hand, a win or a draw, and they're above us. And then Stoke could sort of increase the gap between us and the playoffs. But we're 7th at the minute. And okay, we've played one more game than Stoke, but we're 1 point off the playoffs. Say Stoke lose and Coventry, say they both lose or one of them picks up a draw, that's 1 to 2 points off the playoffs. That's incredible. Just going back to where we were under Houghton, you never ever expect this to happen. It's such an incredible turnaround, and I'm absolutely delighted. I'm so happy. We're 9 points off the top as well. Okay, Fulham have game in hand. QPR have 2 games in hand. But we're 9 points off the top. That's incredible. From where we were at the start of the season, it's so like polar opposites, and it's just incredible to see. I'm absolutely delighted. I'm so happy